So one of the famous merchants, and I think that was Al-Ma'allim Abdul al-Haddad, who built the first house over there. He built this house, and the man who came after that, who built the other house as well.
You mentioned poor houses. Talk to us a little bit about the poor houses.
Poor houses like old random houses around Cairo now, that's what I mean. Not good as one. And we're talking about 1540 and 1631. After maybe a couple of centuries after that, it's mentioned that the outer side or outer walls of Ibn Tulun Mosque couldn't be seen from here, and you're talking about one of the largest mosques in Cairo and even in the Muslim world. So the last owner, I think, of the house, Kurtleya house, that one, his name was Sheikh Sulaiman. He sold it to the Egyptian government, and I'm talking about the late 19th century, the beginning of the 20th century. The Egyptian government that time decided to demolish all these poor, bad condition houses and to restore lots of things here in this area for the people, or the people passing by or from a distance can see again Ibn Tulun Mosque. But they were going to demolish, you can believe, they were going to demolish as well the Kurtleya, these two houses, the Kurtleya house as well. And the committee for the conservation of Arab monuments objected that, and they said they cannot do that. We are talking about two beautiful pieces, two beautiful houses of Islamic art. And actually the government agreed, and they started to restore it after that. So they demolished all these poor little houses, and they restored these two houses after that. Meanwhile, a young officer from Britain, his name was Robert Geyer Anderson, who was born in Britain in 1881, studied medicine and was graduated in 1903 and started serving in the British Army in 1904, and was seconded for service in Egypt as an officer in the Egyptian army as well, and who was already fascinated by the lifestyle of Arabia. And of course we are talking about one of the greatest times, let's say, greatest style of living inside the houses, as we are going to see after that. And he proposed or gave an offer to the Egyptian government to restore the houses, to keep all the antiques he collected from all his visits, travels, and if they will let him to live inside the house. And after his death, and that's what I meant, or something happened to him, forced him to leave the country, then the Egyptian government can take it back, and it will belong back to the Egyptian Antiquity Authority after that. Geyer Anderson started that in 1935. I think he moved to this house in 1937, and he made lots and lots of changes in the house. And I mean now one house, because he built, as we see over there, most probably made by him. He joined the two houses by a bridge, so he can move from this one to the other one freely and easily. Not he has to go down the house and move to the other one from the first floor. So he made lots of new rooms. He made the Byzantine room, he made a museum for the Egyptian antiques as well. He made Turkish room. Even he made a nice room called the Queen Anne room, which is a British lady, a British queen. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
British queen. And also one of the rooms you will find Damascus room, which furnished as Assyrian style, Persian room, Indian room, Chinese room. He collected all his collection, or gathered all his collection in one place. Place, the Kurtleya house. In 1942, he had to leave Egypt because of his health. He was ill, and he died 3 years after that in 1945. And from 1942, came back to the Egyptian Antiquity Authority.
I can see right behind me that there's a dome, a very peculiar dome actually. Tell us a little bit about the dome.
It's mentioned that there is a man is buried over there, or under that dome. This man, his name was Harun al-Husseini, and he is, or he was, a descendant from al-Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. So as you know, the Egyptian people, they glorify those people descended from the family of the Prophet Muhammad. And lots of tales around him actually. Even Geir Anderson gathered them in one book and published that book and called or named as Legends of the House of the Cretan Woman. Some of them actually are funny. One of them, one of these tales that in this spot, in this house, in this spot, the famous story of Prophet Noah and the Ark, Noah's Ark. It was settled here in this area, and this area was a mountain known as Yashkur Mountain, Thanksgiving Mountain. And then the Ark of Noah, Noah's Ark, rested here at the end of the flood, or the water and flood of Noah. And then the remained, or let's say the flood water drained into one of the wells in the courtyard of this house. Another tale that Moses, Prophet Moses, was spoken to Moses by God here in this house as well. Another one, and it's quite miraculous and shows you how Harun al-Husseini was strong and had a good connection with God. 3 thieves, robbers, tried to come and to rob this house. They came inside the house, they entered the house, and by his powers he managed to blind them. And for 3 days and 3 nights, because they were blind, stumbled around the house, and after the 3 days they were caught. And as we will see later, the famous Sabil, as we will see inside, and it was common in the area as well, that if any lover, man or a woman, would come and look at the well and the and the water, you should see the reflection of your face. Actually, those lovers, they used to see the faces of their lovers, actually.
Talk to us a little bit about that, the lovers.